Most traders aim for a $1 million account while they don't even have more than 10K in their balance. This is a problem. Why? Because they are trying to skip a lot of steps. If you're watching this and you want to grow your account from a small account towards a $1 million account, keep watching until the end, because I'm going to explain to you exactly through which stages you first need to go to and how to go for them in the best way. I'm going to give you the best books for each step as well. Now, first of all, you need to understand this. First, we have the apprentice phase. And as you guys can see right here, this is the phase where it all starts. This is the phase where you go from your $0 to your first 10K. As you guys can see, this was me when I went through this phase. I was literally working from 9 in the morning until 12 in the evening in my sales job. And after that, I tried to learn how to trade. And this was the apprentice phase. After that, I decided to go all in on trading, and then you move into the operator phase. And the operator phase is when you go from your 10K balance account towards your 100K balance account. And after that, of course, we have the last one. And the last one is your 100K account towards a $1 million account. This is what we call the capital phase. Now, why do you need to listen to me? First of all, my name is Camille van Merrienboer. Online, I also go by the name of Trading Wizard. One of the reasons why they call me Wizard is because I did multiple 100x investments online, all publicly. One of the most recent ones in here is Toshi. On Toshi, I did a 950x. You can see this on my YouTube account as well. Besides this, I publicly shorted the markets from 96K BTC all the way towards a 74K short. Then I publicly longed it again from 84K all the way towards 110K. And besides this, I'm featured on all of the biggest trading podcasts in the space, where I literally explain my entire journey. One of my biggest beliefs is that I don't want to entertain people, but I want to educate people. So I'm not here to entertain, but I'm here to educate, and that is why you're watching this video. If you think this is hard to believe, just go to my free school that is in the bio below, where you can see all of these moves. Okay, now first of all, we go in the first phase, and that is the apprentice phase. This is the phase where a lot of people, they fuck up, basically. Why? Because they are way too focused on making money instead of building a skill. What you need to understand in the beginning stages of trading, it is all about learning how the trading space actually works. And we need to focus on building a skill. Now, one of the most important things for this phase is that you master one strategy in one market. What a lot of people do is they say, okay, I'm going to trade ICT, or I'm going to trade this concept because I saw that it works for this trader, and I'm going to do this as well. But because I want to diversify my time, I'm going into the Forex space, I'm going into the stock market, and I'm going into the crypto markets. No. You need to have one focus, and that focus needs to be channeled towards one thing. What I would always do is, if I had to start over again, I would pick one strategy that I feel comfortable in, and I would pick one market. For me, it's the crypto space. I started in the stock market. After that, I went into the Forex space, and I ended up in the crypto space because I like the underlying asset the most. One of the most important things is that in this phase, you are taking every single trade very seriously. So you journal every trade, and you learn how to track your emotions. One of the most important things to understand in the beginning is that trading is 80% emotions, and it's just 20% knowledge. Now, one of the biggest problems online is that everyone tries to just push the knowledge on you. What you need to understand is that understanding your emotions is one of the most important and crucial things to do in the beginning stages. Especially from 0 to 10K, there will be a lot of emotions involved because you are trying to fight your way towards break even. You basically have 3 stages. We have a losing stage. So we lose, then we go to break even, and then we head towards profitable. Now, to go from this stage towards this stage, you first need to master these kind of things, okay? So you need to master your emotions in the trading space, and you need to master the knowledge. In order to make this the best way, we need to pick one strategy and master that one in one market. Don't forget this one. Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't like to hear, but what is actually the reality, is please stack outside capital instead of in the markets. So keep your 9-to-5 job. Don't stop yet until the trading is actually paying you off, okay? Why? Because I want you to reduce the pressure. What a lot of people do is they stop the markets because some guy online said, yeah, just go all in. And what happens is their emotions become very big now. So they are constantly worrying about, can I get groceries from my trading money? Yes or no. In the beginning stages, and especially in the apprentice stage, you don't want to have this pressure. You just want to make sure that every month there is still capital coming in for your bills and to fund your journey. Because in the beginning, this will cost you a lot of money. And that's fine. Because at the end of the day, if you want to learn something, you need to pay the price. In this space, there is no university. You will decide how much your college is going to be, and that is because making failures, okay? So in the beginning, you need to make failures. Now, one of the best books for the beginning stage is this book. It's Trading in the Zone. It's one of the most basic books about trading, but this explains to you exactly what I meant here with the 80 and 20% rule, okay? So this is the apprentice phase. You need to take this one very, very serious. Now we move into phase 2. And phase 2 is the operator's phase. And this is where it gets a bit more serious. So you went through the apprentice phase and now you feel like you understand the markets more. And you maybe even went already from the losing phase all the way towards the break-even phase. And you already maybe saw your first real profits. Sorry to tell you, but even if you made from 0 10K, you are not profitable yet because you most probably made it in one market cycle. Now you need to understand this. The market goes in cycles. So we have a upwards trend, we have a sideways trend, and we have a downtrend. Most probably you traded your way from 0 to 10 somewhere in one of these cycles. And you will be shocked by how different the market is going to move in one of those 3 cycles. So you will need to adapt somewhere. Most probably, this will be in the operator phase. And this is where you need to learn how to detach from outcomes. So treat every single trade just like another one in the series, instead of seeing it as an emotional failure if you did something wrong. You need to detach fully from the outcome. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. This all comes down to trusting your edge. Your job is to execute and not predict. If you went from 0 to 10K, I'm sorry to tell you, but most probably your ego grew a little bit. This is fine. But one of the most important things that we need to understand is that it should not get into the way of the reality. And we need to understand that actually, even though we did it right, the reality can come very quickly in one of these phases here, okay? Where we need to adapt towards the strategy itself. Now, one of the things that we need to understand, trading is not about being right, but it's about making money. It's not the guy who predicted the exact bottom online. He needs to show you that he actually executed it. Again, it is not about being right, but it is about making money. So your job is to execute and not predict. So keep your ego aside. You need to understand, eliminate all of the impulses. You need to follow your plan like a robot, and you need to do it consistently. Instead of thinking, okay, today I don't feel like trading. No, you need to have a clear schedule when you actually trade and how to operate in the markets. Besides this, you need to have all of your clear triggers in order to actually execute a system. Again, if you don't have a system yet, just go to my free school in the link below, where I literally show you all of the basics of my strategy, and maybe it's something for you. Besides this, we need to accept the randomness. And this is very, very, very hard in the beginning stages, where you maybe don't yet understand that you're playing a probabilities game. Even if you're right 9 out of 10 times, okay, so we're right 9 out of 10 times, this still means that somewhere we will have a loss in the upcoming 10 trades. Now, we don't know if it's going to be the first trade, the second one, or maybe the third one, or the fifth one. I want you to understand that once you made a single loss, this doesn't mean that you now went from profitable to unprofitable. No, it's just probabilities. And even if you're right 6 out of 10 times with the right strategy, you are profitable. But you don't know when those 4 losses are going to come. So again, you need to accept randomness. A single trade means nothing. The process means everything. Now, one of the best books during this stage is The Art of Execution. This is a book that will show you everything when it comes down to executing trades like a robot. Again, that is what our focus needs to be on. The art of execution. How the world's best investors get it wrong and still make millions, okay? So even if you're wrong, sometimes you can still make millions, but only if you execute it right. buy this book. Now we're going to the last phase, and that is, in my opinion, the most interesting stage where a lot of people actually want to be, and that is the actual capital phase. So you made your first big money, and now you proved yourself, okay, I'm worth a bigger account, where you go from 100K all the way towards 1 million. Now there are 4 steps in this. We need to trust the system, and emotion kills the skill. One of the biggest problems in here is that a lot of people now, because of their ego, see themselves as this big hedge fund manager. What I want you to understand is your system is what made the money, not you. Okay? Your system made the money, not you. Once you are trading, you need to measure everything into risk units instead of money. What some people do is once they go into this phase and they take a loss of, for example, let's say 20K or maybe even 40K, instead of seeing it as a risk unit, what do? They see it as a new AMG, okay? Or they see it as, for example, this watch. They see it as an AP or maybe as a Rolex. Now, what will happen if we are going to see it like this instead of just a very boring risk unit? We are going to attach emotion to it. And we say, okay, I'm not going to take the upcoming trade. Why? Because I don't want to lose another Rolex, or I don't want to lose another AMG, or I don't want to lose another AP. This is where a lot of people make the mistake. You need to learn how to think in risk units. And when you are going into a trade, one of your biggest mindset needs to be the risk that I'm taking, I already lost. So if I'm going into a trade, I go in with the mindset, I already lost the trade. Everything out there doesn't matter anymore. So you're not going to take out the trade earlier than your TPs. No, I already accepted the risk. This is what my account is now. If I go to TP1, good. Okay, but you need to accept this in the beginning by having the right risk units. Okay. Now we are going to start allocating profit into high conviction plays that can actually multiply. So how we do this is we generate money in the trading space, and now we are aiming to multiply it into the investing space. Some do it in the crypto space, some do it in the stock market, wherever you want it to be. But one of the most important things is that you have capital now. So you are a player in the game who actually needs to do more. So while you are trading, the money is working for you as well. It sounds very cliche, but this is the reality. For example, Toshi is one of my biggest plays of the year, 950x. This basically means if you put in $1, it becomes $950 if you cash it out at that moment. This is what I did publicly, okay? You can track it everywhere. I mentioned it in podcast. I literally mentioned it everywhere. You need to understand this wasn't in one night. No, it took me, to be exact, 1.5 years to actually take that profit, okay? So I waited one and a half years in order to get this profit. Every single time when I made some profit, I allocated it into a high conviction play. This was a high conviction play for me, and at one point it started working for me. Now, your edge is now to protect the downside and press hard when it matters. What do I mean with press hard when it matters? Instead of becoming a scalper every single day, what I do is I went through 3 stages. I went through scalping, okay, so lower time frame trades, all the way towards day trading, yes. At the end, I am a swing trader. So this means that I went from taking 3 to 5 trades a day, to only taking 1 to 2 trades a day, to only taking around 2 to 4 trades a week, okay? Less frequency, more conviction, okay? When I'm looking at the end, you need to understand market cycles more. Because when you're going in with bigger capital, especially in a younger market like the crypto space, going in and out fast is something that will become less easy. Now, by understanding the market cycles very well, you can press hard when it matters. And again, what I mentioned in the beginning, the only reason why I was able to short the markets all the way from 96 towards 74 and longed it from 84 towards 110 is because I understood market cycles. And this actually is where the big money is when you're looking at bigger accounts. So when you're looking at this phase, one of the most important things is understanding market cycles. And instead of trading every single day, go for the moments when it actually matters. Now, if you want to have the right book for this phase, it is The Market Wizards, okay? So Market Wizards is basically a book where they interview all of the big traders in the space, and they're going to show you exactly what their mental frameworks are for trading with capital, okay? Again, every single phase is a phase where you need to go through. And what a lot of people unfortunately do is they are trying to ignore the phases. They want to go from a $0 all the way towards 1 million in a week. It doesn't work like this. Why? Because we need to earn the money. And in order to earn the money, we need to have experience. This right here, my friends, is experience. This right here, my friends, is experience. And this right here is experience. And every single stage, we need to learn different lessons in order to go to this one. What I always say is in order to go from your first 10K towards 100K, you need to lose 10K first. In order to make your first 1 million, you need to lose your first 100K. In order to make your first 10 million, you need to lose your first million, okay? So you need to be ready to lose. And again, especially in the apprentice phase, it is important that you stack capital outside of trading. Now, if you like this kind of content and if you want to see the reality of what day trading really is, just give a subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment in which phase you currently are. Guys, if you want me to go through this with you one-on-one, you can always book in a call below and see if you are the right fit for my program. Guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao, ciao.